morning, good afternoon, and good night, everybody. Gene here with another Between the Sundays. And I pray that you're having a blessed day and that you are as strong in body as you are in spirit. I want to thank you for tuning into the channel. I want to discuss with you today about your health during this quarantine. What should you do and what shouldn't you do and how to get through this all? We're going to check out an event that happened in 1 Kings chapter 19. But before we read the event, I want to give you this. I want to share the backstory with you. In chapter 18, we find Elijah battling with the prophets of Baal over whose God is real. And as the story goes, the prophets of Baal do everything they could to have their God consume the offering. Because the prophets of Baal worship a false god, their sacrifice is never consumed. Once it became Elijah's turn to call on God to consume the sacrifice, he prayed to God, and God came and consumed it all. And I mean all. You have to read chapter 18. It is an incredible event. Elijah ends up killing all the prophets of Baal, praying for rain, and I mean it rains. And in the excitement, Elijah outruns Ahab's chariots all the way to the gates of Jezreel. But when Jezebel heard what Elijah did to the prophets of Baal, she said she was going to kill him that very day. Which brings us to chapter 19 in our devotion. Once Elijah heard that Jezebel was trying to kill him, Elijah was afraid and he fled for his life. He went to Beersheba, a town in Judah, and he left his servant there. Then he went on alone into the wilderness, traveling all day. He sat down under a solitary broom tree and he prayed that he might die. He said, "I have had enough. Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my ancestors who have already died." Then he lay down and slept under the broom tree. So here you have Elijah being used by God in a very powerful way. He is on a spiritual high, seeing God consume the sacrifice with fire, then seeing God open the heavens and bring rain. Have you ever been in that place where everything seems to be going your way? God has lined all your ducks up in order, and you feel like you could run a marathon. Then just like Elijah, when he found out that Jezebel wanted to kill him, the coronavirus shows up. Now you find yourself afraid for your life, scared, fearful, and not knowing what tomorrow will bring, questioning every cough you make. The first mistake that Elijah made that we have to avoid in our own life today is that he isolated himself from others. When he went to Beersheba and left his servant there and went on into the wilderness alone. Being quarantined is good. Being isolated is bad. Elijah ends up praying to God to die. Don't allow yourself to go down this path. So what can we do to prevent this from happening? We need to stay in contact with others and with loved ones, whether by phone, social media, or by Facebook. Isolation from others is a dangerous and very unhealthy place to be. Your friends and family need you, and they need you to be with a healthy frame of mind. So how do we do that? Well, then we do the next thing that Elijah did, and it was the right thing to do. He laid down and got some rest. And then he woke up, ate, and got some more rest. In 3 John verse 2, it says, "I hope all is well with you, and that you are as healthy in body as you are strong in spirit." Yes, you have to build your faith by reading and praying. You have to strengthen your spirit, and you also have to take care of your body by making sure that you're resting and making sure that you're eating healthy. You might be quarantined from social gathering, but guess what? You're not quarantined from going outside, taking a walk, getting some fresh air, and taking in some of that sunlight. Because when you take care of your mind, body, and spirit, then you will hear the still, gentle voice of God like Elijah did in verse 12. If you've ever flown in an airplane, in the pre-flight instructions, they explain that if the cabin loses pressure and the oxygen mask drop, that you are to put yours on first before helping the person next to you. As leaders and a witness to others, it is very important that you take care of yourself first so you can be prepared physically and spiritually to take care of others. God has not stopped being God. He hasn't stopped loving you. He still has a plan in the future for your life. He has overcome death and hell, and he has died on the cross to carry your sins, the weight of the world, and that includes the coronavirus on his shoulders. Don't give up hope, and don't give up hope in Jesus, because you know what? Jesus has never given up hope in you. Hey, channel, if you've enjoyed this episode of Between the Sundays, can you give it a thumbs up? And if this is the first time you've come to the channel, can you subscribe and click the notification button so that you can be notified when we release new videos? So thank you again for watching this video. And remember that we are more than just a church, we are family.